Nocturia. After 60, your bladder may not be the problem. Every single night, millions of adults over 60 wake up to use the bathroom. Not once, sometimes two, three, or even 4 or 5 times before morning. Most people believe they already know why. My bladder is getting weak. It must be my prostate. It's just part of getting older. But what if every one of those explanations is wrong? What if your bladder isn't actually the problem? That may sound surprising, but for many older adults, the bladder is simply doing its job. It's responding to signals coming from somewhere else in the body. And that's why so many people spend years treating the wrong organ. They buy bladder supplements. They try herbal teas. They stop drinking water after dinner. Some even take medication without ever asking what is truly causing them to wake up night after night. Yet, nothing really changes. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Nocturia, the medical term for waking up during the night to urinate, is one of the most common sleep-related complaints after age 60. But here's what many people don't realize. Nocturia is often a symptom, not a disease. In many cases, it isn't telling you that your bladder has failed. It's telling you that something else in your body needs attention. That something else could be hidden fluid collecting in your legs during the day. It could be changes in circulation. It could be your heart working harder than you realize. It could even be the quality of your sleep. Understanding the real cause matters because treating the wrong cause rarely solves the problem. Imagine your smoke alarm goes off in the middle of the night. Would you remove the batteries just to stop the noise? Of course not. You'd look for the fire. Your bladder works the same way. Sometimes it's the alarm, not the fire. And today, we're going to explore one of the most overlooked reasons people wake up to pee at night. You'll learn why this happens, how to recognize the warning signs, and several simple habits that may help reduce nighttime bathroom trips naturally. More importantly, you'll understand why the answer isn't always found in the bladder itself. By the end of this video, you may see your nighttime routine and your body in a completely different way. Let's begin by understanding what nocturia really is and why so many people are focusing on the wrong place. Before we talk about solutions, it's important to understand one thing. Not everyone who wakes up to pee at night has the same problem. That is one of the biggest reasons so many treatments fail. The symptom may look identical, but the cause can be completely different. Doctors use the term nocturia to describe waking up during the night to urinate. It doesn't automatically mean your bladder is unhealthy. It doesn't automatically mean your prostate is enlarged. And it certainly doesn't mean it's just part of getting older. Instead, nocturia is a signal. Your body is trying to tell you that something has changed. The first step is understanding what kind of signal you're receiving. For some people, the bladder itself is the problem. They feel a sudden, urgent need to urinate, rush to the bathroom, and only a small amount of urine comes out. This pattern may be related to an overactive bladder, bladder irritation, certain infections, or prostate enlargement in men. The bladder becomes more sensitive than it should be. Even a small amount of urine feels like an emergency. But many older adults experience something very different. They wake up with a completely full bladder. Each trip to the bathroom produces a large amount of urine. During the day, everything seems normal. Then, almost as soon as they fall asleep, the bathroom trips begin. This pattern often suggests that the kidneys, not the bladder, are producing too much urine during the night. In other words, your bladder isn't creating the problem. It's simply emptying what your kidneys have already produced. That distinction is incredibly important, because treating the bladder won't help if the kidneys are being asked to work overtime while you're asleep. Another clue is timing. Ask yourself this question: do you also urinate frequently during the daytime? Or does the problem mainly happen after you lie down for the night? The answer can provide valuable information about what may be happening inside your body. Many people spend years trying different medications without ever asking that simple question. And while medication is appropriate for some people, it works best when it's treating the correct cause. That's why understanding your own pattern is so important. Instead of asking, "How do I stop waking up at night?" try asking, "Why is my body making so much urine while I'm sleeping?" That one question changes everything. Because once you understand the cause, the solution becomes much clearer. And for many adults over 60, the answer has very little to do with the bladder itself. In the next section, you'll discover one of the most overlooked reasons this happens, a process that quietly begins in your legs during the day and doesn't reveal itself until your head finally touches the pillow. Now let's talk about something that surprises almost everyone the first time they hear it. Your nighttime trips to the bathroom may begin in a place you would never expect. Your legs. Think about what happens during a typical day. You spend hours sitting, standing, walking, cooking, shopping, or working around the house. For most of the day, your feet remain below the level of your heart. Gravity is quietly at work the entire time. As we get older, our veins are no longer as strong and elastic as they once were. The tiny valves inside the veins, whose job is to keep blood moving upward toward the heart, gradually become less efficient. At the same time, many people become less active. The calf muscles, which normally act like a natural pump every time you walk, are not working as often or as effectively. Little by little, fluid begins to collect in the tissues of the feet, ankles, and lower legs. Sometimes you notice swollen ankles by evening. Sometimes your shoes feel tighter than they did in the morning. Sometimes your socks leave deep marks around your calves. And sometimes there are no obvious signs at all. The fluid is there, but it stays hidden beneath the surface. Now imagine what happens when you finally go to bed. For the first time all day, your body is lying flat. Your legs are now almost level with your heart. Gravity is no longer pulling fluid toward your feet. Instead, that extra fluid slowly begins moving back into your bloodstream. Your circulation suddenly has more fluid to carry. Your heart senses the increase. Your kidneys respond by filtering that extra fluid out of your blood. Within a short time, your bladder begins to fill. Not because your bladder suddenly became overactive, not because you drank too much water before bed, but because your body is finally processing fluid that had been sitting in your legs all day long. This is why many people are confused. They say, "I stopped drinking after dinner. I skipped my evening tea. I even avoided water before bed." Yet they still wake up with a completely full bladder. The missing piece is that the fluid didn't come from a glass. It came from their own tissues. This process becomes even more noticeable after age 60 because circulation naturally changes with age. Long hours of sitting can make it worse. So can carrying extra weight. Heart conditions, poor vein function, and reduced physical activity may all contribute to the problem. That doesn't mean everyone with nocturia has heart disease. Far from it. But it does remind us that the bladder is often responding to changes happening elsewhere in the body. There are a few simple clues you can look for. Do your ankles seem larger in the evening than they do in the morning? Do your socks leave deep indentations on your skin? Do you feel that your legs become heavy after sitting for long periods? Do you become short of breath more easily than you used to when climbing stairs? If you answered yes to several of those questions, your nighttime urination may deserve a broader evaluation instead of focusing only on the bladder. Understanding this connection changes the way you think about nocturia. Instead of asking, "How can I stop my bladder from waking me up?" you begin asking, "What is causing my body to produce so much urine after I lie down?" And once you ask the right question, you're much closer to finding the right solution. Because in many cases, the problem isn't where the urine ends up, it's where the extra fluid begins. Now that you understand why nocturia may not begin in the bladder, let's talk about what you can do to help your body work more efficiently before bedtime. The first habit is surprisingly simple. Pay attention to what you eat in the evening. Many people avoid adding salt to their meals, yet they still consume large amounts of sodium without realizing it. Foods like processed meats, cheese, canned soups, packaged snacks, sauces, and many frozen meals often contain hidden salt. Too much sodium encourages your body to hold on to extra water during the evening. Later, while you sleep, your kidneys work to remove that excess sodium and water follows it. The result may be another trip to the bathroom in the middle of the night. The second habit is watching late night sugar. Desserts, sweet drinks, cookies, pastries, and even large portions of fruit before bed may cause blood sugar to rise and fall during the night. For some people, especially those living with diabetes or insulin resistance, these changes may increase urine production and interrupt sleep. Alcohol deserves attention as well. Many people believe that a small drink helps them sleep better. It may help you fall asleep faster, but it often reduces the quality of deep sleep and can interfere with the natural hormones that help your kidneys produce less urine at night. You may fall asleep easily, yet still wake up several hours later needing to use the bathroom. Hydration is another area where many people make an understandable mistake. After weeks or months of waking up at night, some people decide to stop drinking water after dinner altogether. Unfortunately, becoming dehydrated rarely solves the problem. Instead, it may increase fatigue, constipation, dizziness, and even raise the risk of falls in older adults. A better strategy is to drink enough water earlier in the day and simply avoid large amounts of fluid close to bedtime. One habit that many people find helpful is elevating the legs before going to sleep. About an hour before bedtime, lie comfortably on a sofa or bed and raise your legs on pillows or against a wall for about 15 to 20 minutes. This allows some of the fluid stored in your lower legs to return to your circulation while you are still awake. Afterward, empty your bladder before getting into bed. While this won't solve every cause of nocturia, it may reduce the amount of fluid your kidneys need to process during the night. Finally, remember that movement matters. Your calf muscles act like a natural pump that helps move blood and fluid back toward your heart. Even gentle walking, ankle movements, or standing up every hour during the day can improve circulation and reduce fluid buildup by evening. Small daily habits may seem simple, but when practiced consistently, they often work together far better than relying on a single quick fix. The most important thing I hope you remember from today's video is this: nocturia is not always a bladder problem. For many older adults, it is simply the body's way of telling you that something else deserves attention. It may be changes in circulation. It may be fluid collecting in your legs during the day. It may be your sleeping habits, your evening meals, or an underlying medical condition that has not yet been recognized. The good news is that small changes can sometimes make a meaningful difference. Let's review a simple action plan. First, pay attention to your pattern. Are you producing large amounts of urine during the night, or only a few drops each time? Second, look at your legs in the evening. Do your socks leave deep marks? Do your ankles appear swollen compared with the morning? Third, reduce processed foods and hidden salt at dinner whenever possible. Fourth, avoid large amounts of sugar and alcohol close to bedtime. Fifth, drink most of your fluids earlier in the day instead of late at night. And finally, spend 15 to 20 minutes with your legs elevated before going to bed. Then empty your bladder before you fall asleep. These simple habits won't replace medical care when it is needed, but they may help your body work with its natural rhythm instead of against it. If your nighttime urination is getting worse, if you notice blood in your urine, severe pain, unexplained weight loss, increasing shortness of breath, or swelling that continues to worsen, don't ignore those warning signs. Please speak with your healthcare provider as soon as possible to find the underlying cause. Your body is always communicating with you. The key is learning how to understand its signals instead of simply covering them up. Sometimes the solution isn't treating the symptom. It's discovering where the symptom truly begins. Now, I'd love to hear from you. How many times do you usually wake up to use the bathroom each night? Have you ever noticed swelling in your legs or deep sock marks by the end of the day? Share your experience in the comments below. Your story may help someone else who is facing the same problem. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest videos on healthy aging, senior wellness, and practical health tips after 60. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.